Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your mid-April 2019 reading. So these are not particularly love focused or general focused. They're more so just what you need to know at this time. So allow me just a moment to go ahead and lay out your messages here. You are showing up right away. Some of you may be dealing with some resentment or some feelings of anger at this time. I also feel that you guys are going through a time period of introspection where it seems like there's a lot that is weighing heavily on your mind. And I feel for a lot of you, someone may have suddenly stopped communicating with you, or you may have suddenly stopped communicating with them. All readings can go vice versa. But I feel as though it's like someone suddenly switched up or went cold, and you are trying to so either you or the other person is trying to remain strong at this time. You're trying to remain positive at this time, but I do feel that there is some emotional fluctuation going on with this. So you're showing up, with some anxiety, with some fear. Some of you are wondering, there's fear and anxiety around commitment in general, okay? So for some of you, that's a specific person. Others of you, I feel like, you may be thinking, well, am I ever going to get in that solid, committed relationship? Am I ever going to have that? Some of you, it's like a down and out, where you may be doubting yourself a little bit. When is it going to happen for me? Like, you may be watching people, move on. Friends, family members, like you may be seeing someone's social media, someone may be getting married. I just feel like life is passing you by, and some of you feel like you've wasted time on a particular person. Others of you just feel like you've wasted time in general. And, I feel like it's important to say, don't let yourself get overwhelmed with this. I feel like you are overwhelmed. Some of you, you have a lot of feelings for a particular person, and, you may be missing them. And I did say, all readings can go vice versa. But I feel that there's a great deal of emotion here, and it seems to be coming, from you. Not to say it's not mutual, but I do feel that, the other party is less mature. So you have here showing up a fire sign. This would be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. It does not have to be, but showing up in the crowning energy, this is someone who's very determined, very driven. They can be a little bit hard-headed, a little bit overbearing at times. And I feel like this might be one of those times. It seems as though I'm getting a feeling of intimidation here, where someone knows exactly what they want, and they know how they want it, and they know when they want it. Like someone may be expecting you to jump when they snap their fingers, I definitely picked that up. And for some of you, it's just, that's not your personality. For others, you may be willing to negotiate a little bit. That's just going to depend. But I definitely feel, it's like jumping through hoops to please someone. And because of that, some of you have, quit talking to this person. And like I said, it can go vice versa. But I pick up like a, overbearing, just wanting you to do what they want you to do when they want you to do it. You have the Knight of Swords showing up here at the center of the spread. So some of you may be involved with air signs. This would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It does not have to be, but with this showing up at the center of your spread, honestly, this is very quick moving energy. And it's usually where we're running away from a situation, or we're running into a situation. I feel for a lot of you, this is where someone is running away. So, going back to what I said at the beginning of the reading, either you're running from someone or someone is running from you. And with this Nine of Swords showing up in the foundation, this does indicate, trying to be strong, trying to remain positive. You may be telling yourself, they're going to come back around. They're going to grow up, and then, we'll be able to make amends and take things further. It seems like there might be a level of commitment that you want here. And as I said, one person still needs to grow. And I feel that, there may have been an argument or a disagreement, and it's like they didn't know how to handle it in a mature manner. So they may have just, took off running instead of being there, instead of hashing it out, instead of communicating. It's like someone has difficulty communicating. And with this Two of Wands here in the past, this does indicate mutual feelings, especially when it comes to chemistry, the sexual aspect of the relationship. I feel like you're an ideal match in that area. But there may be some financial struggles, like where someone just doesn't have themselves all the way put together. Again, fire sign showing up here in the foundation. This is someone who is in and out. It's an on and off situation. And, when it's on, it's on. But when it's off, it's kind of like, there's nothing there. Like, that's what I'm feeling, where, there may be some passionate, heated moments here. And I feel like there's a mutual pursuit. But then things fizzle out. So it's kind of like you're waking up to the reality of, well, is this going to be a practical, grounded, stable relationship, or is this just an on and off situation? So it seems like, there's a lot on your mind. And with the Hanged Man showing up here in your crowning energy, this is feeling indecisive, where, you're on the fence. You're feeling wishy-washy, or you're dealing with someone who's wishy-washy. And you guys don't like that. Typically no one does, but you guys really don't like that. Someone who can't make their mind up. Someone who's back and forth. Someone who, flip-flops. You don't like that type of individual. But I feel that there's still some emotional investment here, whether you like it or not. And with the Two of Swords showing up here in the past as your clarifier for the Two of Wands, this is like, feeling like someone's going to bring you peace of mind. It's like the chemistry was there, the mutual attraction was there. You thought they could bring you that calm state of mind, that calm emotional self as well. I feel like you saw them as comfort. And again, this is something that at one point it was reciprocated. It was mutual. For some of you, a third party has interfered. That's not the case for all, but for some, definitely. It's been where a third person has got in the way. And it could be, simply because it's on and off. Sometimes people are like, well, I'm not going to waste my time waiting. And I feel like that's what a lot of you are thinking too, where you're like, I'm not going to waste my time waiting. Make up your mind. Let me know what direction we're headed. Or let's just call it off. Okay? So you have the Ten of Wands showing up here. Again, overwhelmed. Overwhelmed because this person is immature. Because they still need to grow. You do have the emotional attachment. You do have the emotional investment. Someone is going to be expressing how they feel to the other person. That's showing up in your outcome. But, be cautious with it. And this is you, the devil. So this is Capricorn. Someone's going to be making an emotional expression. But with it showing up as the Prince, that typically, it's not that full level of commitment. Now, there is some growth because you're going from the Page to the Knight. Okay, so there is some growth. But it's still not full level commitment. It's up to you. Are you happy with that or are you not? It's just, that is something that's going to come down to each personal individual. And what this is telling me is this is something you're going to think heavily about. You're going to think heavily before you accept this offer or not. For some of you, you're going to be expressing yourself, and I feel like it's going to take this person completely off guard in a positive way. Like they may not be expecting it, or they may have not known how much you actually cared about them. Like I definitely get that, where someone doesn't know how they feel about you, and you may decide to, let it out. And I feel like the response is very positive. It may shock them a little bit, but like I said, in a positive way. Do be careful of being vulnerable at this time, especially if you're having any financial struggles, because, this can be reaching out only because you're feeling vulnerable or feeling isolated. So definitely, watch out for that. Think things through. Make sure that you're thinking long term. And I feel that you are. That's why you're taking the time to think, do I really want to do this or do I not? I feel like using your best judgment, making those judgment calls. Now, you also have the Six of Wands showing up here on top of the Ace of Cups. This is beautiful. This does indicate having victory in love, having victory, over your emotional self in general. I feel that the month of May, the month of May may be like a month of progress, and by the month of June is when you're going to be laying the foundation to move the relationship further. That's what I'm picking up. For some of you, this person needs to relocate. And you're trying to decide, well, are they going to move to me? Am I going to move to them? Someone may be trying to find a job, like in that area. I definitely feel a lot of you are dealing with someone from a distance, whether it's a short distance or a long distance. It's like someone you're involved with is seeking opportunities. So seeking opportunities in career, or as I said, housing. Like, are we going to move in together? Are we not? Who's going to make the change? For those of you where there are children involved, this is putting extra stress, of course, because these are big decisions to be made. So I feel like there's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of analyzing. A lot of you are trying to make permanent decisions at this time. So with the Princess of Wands showing up here at the center of the spread, a lot of fire energy in this reading. This is someone who throws caution to the wind, okay? And I feel with the Nine of Cups showing up here in the foundation, it's like you have many different options, or they have many different options, right? And you're wanting to make sure that that level of emotional investment is there. Like, some of you are trying to make something more serious out of a friends with benefits situation. And if this is still this person's energy, if they're still just taking things really lightly, that may be why you're sizing them up and you're like, I'm just not really sure. For some of you, this person needs to walk away from the situation that they're in. Others, this is vice versa, where you may need to walk away from something, or you're just indecisive in general, where you're like, do I walk away or do I not? I feel like it's been an on and off situation. For some of you, this person's single and they have a lot of options, or you, like I said, and I feel like someone's not ready to give up their freedom quite yet. It's like, they still want to play the field a little bit. They still want to play around a little bit. So, either that's you or that's them. You also have the moon showing up here in the past. So this is about deception. It's about lies, things hidden underneath the surface, so to speak. And, you may feel like a person deceived you, like, or you may feel like you deceived yourself. Where you're like, what was I thinking? I thought I could have peace in this situation, or I thought this person was going to bring me peace. I thought they were my ideal match, but, turns out they weren't. Like, some of you feel that way. With the Ace of Pentacles showing up here in your upcoming energy, again, many of you, someone is looking for a new job. So, that can be you or them, but this is like being very overwhelmed. Someone needs to grow financially. I believe I said that from the beginning. For some of you it's you, for some of you it's the other person, but I definitely get being overwhelmed here. And again, you know, seeking new opportunities, seeking new employment, seeking new ways to bring in income. With the Three of Swords showing up here, this does indicate heartbreak, pain. Is showing up on top of the Six of Wands. So I feel like you are going to come out of this. You are going to come out of this. Like I was saying earlier, the month of May may be, you know, a little up and down. But I feel by the month of June, you know, you're laying a foundation. You're getting more serious and you're starting to take the steps needed to come together. A lot of you may be feeling heartbroken at this time. You may be feeling hurt at this time. But I feel that, you know, something has already occurred. You can't take it back. You know, or they can't take it back. And it's all about, well, are we going to move forward or not? Are we going to make amends or not? Because I feel like, you know, even if you were the one that lied to them or they lied to you, I still feel either way, as I said, there's still emotional investment here. So you're replaying this over and over and over in your head. For some of you, someone may have lied about their status, like whether they were single or coupled. And you do have the Ace of Swords here. So this is about clarity and it's about truth. It's showing up in your environment. So someone may be asking you, you know, they may be telling you, I want to be clear. I need to know exactly how you feel about me before I take this leap of faith, before I take this, you know, new opportunity, new career, relocate. You know, you're wanting to make sure before you take that risk that the other person's going to be there, right? Like some of you, this is a big move. Whether that's a literal move or whether that's a change of job. I feel like, you know, you're trying to bring a home together. You're trying to bring, some of you, there are children involved and you're trying to combine a household. Others of you, you know, there may not be children, but either way, I feel like you're trying to come together as a unit. You're wanting to build up finances. You're wanting to build up, you know, the bank account. It's like you're trying to have a breakthrough in terms of relationships. And I do feel that that's coming, but you're laying the groundwork now. And I also feel through the month of May, you know, that's the time of laying the groundwork as well. You do have the Ten of Pentacles showing up in the outcome. This is beautiful. You know, this is for me like home, family, money. Home, family, money. And that may be what you guys are telling yourselves over and over and over. Some of you have like a checklist or a to-do list and you're going through it and you're prioritizing and, you know, you're trying to decide, well, I need to do this, this, and this. You know, I need to have the utilities cut on and then I need to buy new furniture. And then, you know, it's like you're trying to get everything sorted out. I get like organization here. And also the financial aspect of it, that's coming through quite heavily as well. You know, well, what are the, like you may be calculating what your bills are going to be. I feel like it's a positive reading, you know, for the majority of you. I feel like you're bringing together a solid relationship. It's just, you know, of course, you want to be clear about it, or they want to be clear about it. And like I said, this Three of Swords, it is heartbreak, it is pain, but either way, you're getting over it. Okay, so a lot of you, you're reconciling with someone, you know, you're deciding to forgive them. I do feel a great deal of you, it was a third-party situation, and, you know, you're trying to let bygones be bygones, okay? You have the Three of Cups here, so for some of you, it definitely was, like a third party interfered, you know, this came out, this came to light. If it wasn't third party, it's just this person let you down in some type of way. You know, you may be wondering, well, why has it been on and off? Or you may be saying, you know, this is just on and off. It can't go further. The Five of Cups here, you know, this is disappointment. It's showing up in the foundation. So someone has already let you down. And that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the reading. You know, it's like someone has let you down here, and you're trying to remain strong. You're trying to remain positive. You know, they may have been in and out, back and forth. Some of you, you know, they've definitely been entertaining other people. And as I said, if it's not you, it's the other way around. You may have came across something on social media for some of you. But this is like hoping, wishing, praying, you know, wanting a situation to come together, especially with these two twos here. This is like, you know, praying for peace of mind, praying for that perfect partner, that reciprocated, where you're in it and they're in it. And I feel like this moon, you know, whatever was hidden, it kind of threw everything off. And I do feel, as I said, it was another person, or where someone was just keeping their options open. As I said, there needs to be more growth here. Someone needs to mature. You have the Seven of Wands showing up here in your crowning energy. So this is about reoccurring obstacles. This is something that you have went through for quite some time. You know, should I walk away? Should I not walk away? Do I leave it behind me, or do I make something more of it? For some of you, there's a level of sacrifice required here. Like I said, where someone has to leave something behind in order to pursue something new. Like those of you where you're relocating to be with someone from a distance, you know, it could be that, where you're having to leave your home environment to try something new, right? But either way, you are feeling indecisive. And some of you, this has been something that's been on your mind for quite some time. For some of you guys, you know, this may have played out several times, whether it was with the same person or a different person, like where you're almost at that level, where you're ready to start planting seeds, and then right before you get there, something happens. Another person interferes, you know, something happens. So you're questioning, you know, why am I always being met with these blocks? Like if I'm always having blockages or obstacles, is it my path? It's like that's the bigger question here. Are you on the right path? Are you supposed to be on this path with this person? I feel like there's a lot of expansive thinking here, you know, higher level thinking. And with death here, this is about transformation and change. But, you know, for some of you, you're going to say, this is just too overwhelming. I just want to focus on my finances. You need to grow up, and I'm going to move forward. For others of you, I feel like you're saying, you know what, I'm overwhelmed enough as it is. And I'm just going to be, like some of you are deciding that you have too much responsibility anyway. So you just want to focus on yourself. Like you may be going through a time where you don't want a lot of responsibility. You may just want to throw caution to the wind. You may just want something with no strings attached. It's going to go vice versa. Yeah. So this is you showing up here on top of the Three of Swords. So like I said, a lot of you, you know, it is you that is hurt. This is where you're trying to branch out. You're trying to grow. You're trying to expand. And this is definitely, you know, regarding love relationships. Yeah, Tower. So definitely eye-opening moments, truth, clarity. You know, again, I feel like someone wants to be sure. For some of you, you're going to completely shock this person by telling them, you know what, thank you, but no thank you. You know, it's going to be up to you. Those of you where you're expressing yourself, you know, I did say that earlier, where you're expressing how you feel to someone and they may have never seen it coming. It's like they didn't know you felt that way. And I feel like, you know, you're delivering some truth of how you feel. And again, it's like it's shocking them, but in a positive way. With the Eight of Pentacles here in the outcome, this is about patience. Needing to be patient so that you can grow, so that you can manifest, you know, working on those crops. It's about paying attention to detail, working very hard, you know, very tedious. And there are results growing. This is like seeing the fruits of your labor. It's in the outcome, as I said, but I feel like this is manifesting in the June time frame. You're working on it throughout the month of May, but you're thinking really hard and heavy. Really, like, you know, if I express myself, I feel that some of you may be repressing your emotions because you know that once you let them out, they're out. You can't take them back. Or someone may be behaving this way towards you. So it seems like there's a lot of serious thought going on here. Yes, some of you guys, you've dealt with someone who was a liar. They, you know, this is someone who's a liar, someone who's not honest. Again, someone may have been coming in and out for sex only. And for some of you, you know, they really let you down. They really let you down. And here it is. So all about the sex, all about the sexual aspect. It may be where you're intimate, you know, and then they change after that. They change up after that. Or, you know, things are not the same. Like, you know, you can't plant seeds off of something that's not practical, right? Like if it is a sex-only relationship, I think I said that from the beginning too, where some of you are trying to build more out of a sex-only situation. And, you know, this may be someone who's lying to you just to continue to be intimate with you. It's not going to apply to all of you, but you'll know who you are. With the Hermit here, this is about, you know, digging up information. And it's also, as I said, a time period of reflection where you're thinking. This is you guys are all in your head. This is like where your mind is running away with you. You're trying to shed light on a situation. Some of you know something is off, but you can't put your finger on it. Like you may feel that there's a third party involved and you've been trying to uncover more facts. And I feel like those of you in that situation, you are. It's like you're seeing things clearly and you're not going to let this person trick or deceive you anymore. So some of you, as I said, you're definitely cutting this person off with that Death card. It's like, and some of you, it's where you're going to say, okay, here's the deal. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. If you can meet the criteria, then, you know, let's grow. Let's build something together. But if you can't, then I just need to end this because it's taking away my peace of mind. I'm thinking about this all the time. So just let me know where we stand. That's what I feel is a firm, let me know where we stand. Okay? Because I feel that going back to that whole immature or someone just not ready to give up their freedom, if you're starting to catch feelings, you know, of course you want to know, like, is it going to go further or is it not going to go further? That may be what's worrying you. Some of you, you're actually like losing sleep over this. You may be worrying like, well, are they being intimate with someone else? You know, are they being with someone else? I feel like there's a lot of questions that you want to ask. And I feel like you're determined to get down to the truth. Like you want the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Some of you are forgiving someone for stepping outside of the relationship. You know, you may be telling someone, look, you know, I know what you did. You deceived me in the past. You know, you stepped outside of the relationship. Own up to it, apologize, and let's move forward. But the only way I can do that is if you tell me the truth, apologize, and, you know, mean it. I feel like you're wanting the truth here. And you may be telling someone, you know, you need to grow up. Like if you can't stop stepping outside of the relationship, then we just need to end it. Some of you guys, this person, I feel like their sex drive is like really high, and you know that's okay, but you don't want them to deceive you or lead you on. So I feel like that's something that you're doing here, where you're, you know, you may be giving them an ultimatum where you're saying, you know, grow up, stop this behavior, and let's build together, or just get completely out of my life. Like, it's pretty clear. And I get that with quite a stern feeling. So, you know, again, this is coming at you, or you're delivering this to someone else. But either way, I feel like you're saying it's, you know, it's black and white. No more straddling the fence. No more flip-flopping. You know, no more of this. Where are we headed? How do we need to get there? Are we going to do this or not? And I feel like you're very serious, and you know, you are thinking from a practical perspective. Those of you where you've uncovered something here, I feel that you may decide to keep it to yourself a little bit, just to see if they're going to tell you on their own. And you have the Six of Pentacles here. So this does indicate success. In terms of finances, I feel that a lot of you, you're heavily focused on your success. Those of you that are looking for new opportunities, you know, new careers, new sources of income, like I said here, where, you know, you're branching out, you're trying to grow, you're trying to find a new job, it's coming through, okay? It's coming through. You have the Ace of Pentacles with success. So again, it may be the June time frame. But either way, I feel like you're searching, and you're determined. It's like you're determined to bring this abundance into your life. You want more. I feel like you guys are going through a time period where you want more out of life. And you need a partner that wants the same thing. And if they don't want the same thing, then they don't need to be in your life. You're wanting someone with similar goals, similar dreams, you know, like where you're wanting the same thing. Someone mutual, someone who's going to be a partner, where they're going to work with you to build up that strong financial foundation. And also, I feel like passing something down through a family, like family tradition. You know, that could be financial, or that could be, you know, just having someone who has it together, who appears, you know, someone who's well behaved, good manners, you know, someone who's going to be a role model, like for children. It's like you're thinking bigger. You're thinking about the whole picture. You want everything, and you want it all. That's what I'm feeling here. You know, someone who's going to be successful, just like you are. You know, someone who's going to strive for that, who's going to work on that, who wants that family tree, who wants that strong, you know, financial backing. It's like you're ready to show off the fruits of your labor, and you're working hard for it. And I feel that this is like all in your mind. So the Six of Swords here, this is about communication. And it's also research, looking up things online. Some of you may be going back to school. For the majority, I'm getting resumes here, continuously putting out resumes, doctoring up resumes, brushing up on something here. For some of you, you're going back to school to take a new course or pursue something new, but I'm getting like researching how to be more successful in whatever field you're in. You know, how do I grow more? How do I build more? How do I reach that higher level? You're looking for, it's like you want a golden egg. You want the golden goose or the golden egg or whatever that saying is. But this is like looking online also. Like researching online, you know, looking for new jobs. Again, putting out those resumes. You know, some of you, like I said, looking to relocate, looking to travel. Career opportunities at a distance. I believe I said that from the beginning as well. Six of Cups. So this is called pleasure in this deck, and it is about enjoying yourself. as I said, enjoying the fruits of your labor. And notice, we have all 3 sixes right on top of each other, and we also have this 6 down here. So like I said, the June time frame is going to bear great significance. I know we're speaking about mid-April right now, but I feel that June, again, the month of May, you're laying the foundation. You may have a few setbacks. I feel like there is going to be a few setbacks. But all in all, as long as you're doing your research and you're doing your end of the bargain and you're doing everything you can to achieve these goals, you're going to. I feel like you're very determined. This is high hopes, high expectations. And I feel like, again, you're ready to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And it's beautiful. It's like, you're wanting a partner that's the same way. And if they're not up to par, then you're just not going to be involved with them. Like some of you, you're cutting someone off, as I said earlier. And I'm also getting like dating options here. Some of you may be on dating apps. You may be communicating with various different people online, where you're really going through your options. And it's like you have this checklist. And you're like, well, do they have that trait? Do they have that trait? Do they have that trait? I feel like you're being very specific. It's like you're wanting someone who is tailored to meet your needs. And I feel like you've spent a lot of time thinking about this because there have been lessons learned already. Again, this 7 of Wands is something that's been reoccurring. And this is where you're willing to stand up for it. You're willing to fight for it. It's like you're willing to do the work. And I feel that it's paying off drastically. There's very much like a brand new energy here. And with this 3 of Cups, this is usually like celebrations. Some of you may be attending a celebratory event, a wedding, a baby shower, engagement. Some of you are opening your own businesses, or you know someone who is. But I get like a level of freedom here. And like I said, those of you where you're deciding that you just want to remain single, I feel like you're saying, I know exactly what I want in a partner. So if they don't meet that list, it's like you're not willing to waste any time. You may be content just having something sexual only, or, having someone where there's a little bit of company, like they're your friend, they're company, they're fun, but then it's also intimate at the same time. Like some of you are just deciding to keep your options open. And enjoy your success and, make your money. It's like, what you want in a partner. And when you come across that, you'll plant the seeds to grow with them. But until you come across it, I just don't feel like you're willing to take any risk. You're not willing to take a risk on just anyone because it seems like you can't take that gamble. You have a lot to lose. You've worked really hard to be where you are, and you're working really hard to get where you're going, if that makes sense. I feel like there's been a lot of pursuing your dream, and you're not going to let someone sabotage it. So some of you are, happy and content being single. You're like, nobody's going to disappoint me again. Nobody's going to let me down again. I'll do what I want, how I want to do it. But I do feel, as I said, there is an expression of love here. And with this 8 of Pentacles, you may be saying, okay, I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Let me think on it. Let me sleep on it. Let me mull it over a little bit more. And then, we'll bring things together into a solid unit. So, this is a very beautiful reading, Capricorns. I hope that it was beneficial, and I will see you in the month of May.